Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 main things that riflers need to keep in mind when they're entering out onto a site. Now, I've gone through every single map except for Nuke and Vertigo, because those they're different when it comes to how to entry out onto them, but I've done every map, like walking you through a guide on how to entry, what angles you should be looking at, all the different ways to come into different sites and all that. They're all in a playlist somewhere. But this is, when you're a rifler, things that you need to keep in mind. So number one is that flashes are your best friends. So we're going to assume that we're coming out B overpass here, okay? So you can either come out here, you can come out here. So as an entry, you need to tell your teammates which way you're going to come out of. Because if you're going to come out of monster, alright, you're probably going to want to flash like this, that it's going to pop behind the pole here, the column, so when you're coming out, it doesn't blind you. Alright, it's very difficult for that flash to blind you. Obviously, there could still be a guy right here, completely unaffected, but usually if you're rushing out onto a site, you're going to have a teammate flash over like this, and a flash over like that, that yes, it will pop above you, but it's most likely going to pop before you get out. That should handle anybody who's close or on the right side of the wall here. So making sure that you have flashes available. They don't have to be perfect, they don't have to 100% blind the enemies, but as long as they do something and they don't harm you, it's going to be nice. Now, just in the same note of that, a flash that if you're coming out a short, okay, something like this, where you can throw it while you're entering short, and it's going to just barely touch you, but affect just about everybody else. I mean, it gets somebody barrels, you know, you should be aiming right here, but it gets everybody else who's sight, graffiti, all that. So those are your first thing that you want to keep in mind. Just something that can help you out dramatically. Next is your crosshair placement, not only when you're entering out on the site, but when you're walking up on the site. So I always am going to be keeping my crosshair at head level, just in case, especially when I'm walking up here, just in case somebody does decide to swing out. It's very likely that they come and swing this angle, so I'm going to have my crosshair placement be absolutely perfect right here. And then this ties into the next point, okay, pre-aiming angles. You have to know the common angles in which CTs play, so you're not just clearing off every single angle, which is completely unnecessary. So when I'm entering, alright, I'm not going to be checking barrels or toxic, whatever you want to call it, because there's no point in me checking that. That's for, you know, my third or fourth teammate who's coming out. I need to be running up. So first thing I'm going to be looking at is right here, in case there's somebody immediately holding that. If there's not, then I'm going to continue to run, and I'm just going to hold right here, swing out heaven, and then graffiti, okay? You don't even need to swing out to peak heaven. So technically it would be like here, here, to here, alright? If I don't see anybody here, I don't see anybody heaven, I don't see anybody here, and this is all within split seconds, alright? I'm not taking my time, you know, waiting, jiggling, unless it's more of like a contact play, alright? I'm not taking my time, I'm going full speed, you know, right here, and then I'm going up. Okay, maybe not even a little stutter AD right there. It may even be, if we're on pistol or something, okay, something like that, okay, very, very fast. Now, the reason for that ties into the next point of you want to make sure that you're making space for your teammates, all right? The point of the entry is to get out there and just keep on going, ignoring battles, okay? So if I'm going out, let's say that we have some smokes down, okay, which wouldn't be super unlikely considering it would be an execute. So let's say that we're going to smoke heaven off. I don't remember how to smoke this off, so we're just going to smoke it off like that, and maybe we have a bridge smoke as well. Bridge smoke's pretty easy. That's a flashbang. Okay, here we go. So you have all those smokes down. Now, this is what I would do, basically. So we got flashes out, nobody's there. Alright, now I'm going to walk through this smoke, see if anybody's back here. Nobody's back there. I have to clear over here, and then I can take this control. Okay? Walking through smokes as an entry, depending on the map, you might want to do it. Mirage, probably not want to do it, but on a map like Train or overpass, you're going to want to do it because there's a lot more, like, CTs aren't going to be guaranteed holding that smoke, right? They're not going to be piled up behind it. Like, I can get away with walking through this because if you're coming out graffiti, alright, you have a lot more angles that you have to deal with than just the smoke right here, alright? You're going to be waiting here, maybe holding right here, maybe you cross so you can only see right here, so you can't even see if somebody comes through the smoke. But yeah, and then that point ties into my next point. See how I properly actually planned this video out, as I have to check my notes to see what it is. Dedicating to a fight, right? So let's say that you have those smokes down again. Alright, you got a heaven, you got a this guy. Let's just imagine that I hit that heaven, and then you got a this guy. Alright, you're coming out, flashes over. Alright, people are going, and there's a guy right here, okay? And you shoot at him once, and then he falls back. So he basically does this. He takes the fight, and then he sits right here, and he falls back. If you're the entry, you shoot at him, and he falls back. You can't just sit here and wait for him to repeak. That means that everybody behind you now has to wait. You're wasting time of the smokes that are down. The people that flash, they're no longer blind, okay? So you're waiting right here. That's not what you want to do. Alright, you're coming out, you see the guy, you take a shot, he falls back, you fall back. Alright, or you keep going. You don't fall back, you keep aggressing, alright? He doesn't want to take that fight, you keep going. Now, when somebody does that, when somebody peeks like this, alright, they take the shot and then they hide, they're doing one of two things. One, they're either buying time for their rotating teammates, which is likely, or they're baiting for another teammate, alright? So if that happens, they want me to be focused right there, waiting for him to repeak, so there could be another guy right here, waiting. So let's say he peeks out, I'm looking at him, he could swing out right there, I'd have to completely flick over, probably miss my shot, or I'm swinging out looking right here, and there's going to be a guy barrel. Alright, this would be a nice little bait setup. So that would change where my crosshair placement is. So instead of looking like heaven or back here, alright, as soon as I'm coming around here, I'm going to walk so they don't have the info that I'm running through a smoke, so they can't just pre-fire me, alright? But I'm going to look here, and then I'm going to check out right there, and check out right there, you know. So you don't want to just sit there and dedicate to a fight. Same thing goes for, let's say you're entering out monster, okay? Coming out right here, there's one guy barrel. This guy barrel usually messes up a rush in low-level games if they don't immediately get the kill on him, because all he has to do is shoot once and then hide, alright? And nobody's going to peek, like, nobody will be able to move because everybody wants to get that kill, unless they have utility and they can molly you out or something, okay? If I'm entering, there's a guy barrel, and he starts to hide, I immediately fall to a much more passive angle for barrel, so if he wants to kill me, he has to very much wide swing out or jump up on these, and usually my teammates will get that kill, and then I'm going to be checking all the other angles in which people can be. Now, this is entirely exposed. Usually you'd have a smoke down bridge and a smoke heaven, so you could really just focus on back pillar and walk up ramp right here, okay? But that's just things to keep in mind when you're entering out on the sites. That's all I have for this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a